Hey everyone, how are you? Well, normally at this point I would say welcome to another installment of Memories of Macedonia, but I'm not. When I first started making these videos, and I hope a lot of you have watched my Memories of Macedonia videos, and I will continue to make some, but I also told you that I come from a mixed background, my dad being Macedonian, and my mom is from the island and beautiful nation of Malta. Now, in case you don't know where Malta is, it is an island, as I said, well, a series of islands in the Mediterranean, smack dab in the middle of the Mediterranean, below Sicily, and north of the Libyan coast. So, as you can imagine, the weather is beautiful, the food is beautiful, and the people are wonderful as well, and beautiful. Today, I'm going to start an installment on, well, what else? Memories of Malta. So today I'm going to start. I'm a little nervous because I'm not so versed in Maltese food as I am in Macedonian food. But with the help of my partner and my mom and my nana, I'm getting the hang of it. And I think I'm doing pretty good. So the first thing I'm going to make is something simple. And it's called minestra. Now, minestra is basically the Maltese national vegetable soup. Don't confuse it with minestrone, which is the soup we all know and love from Italy with beans. Yeah, my cat is crying. She wants minestra too. It's not minestrone. Minestra is different, and it's made a little differently from house to house as well as from what I've learned, from what I've seen on cookbooks, and from what my partner has told me. And also, I guess it's really based on your taste. But what I'm going to do is going to show you the basics on how we make minestra. The ingredients, like I said, are simple, but sometimes you may not be able to find a few if you're in North America, and I'm going to show you what you can do to substitute that because I've had to. So sit tight, and I'm going to show you all the ingredients we need to make this really hearty, beautiful vegetable soup they call minestra. Hey everyone, welcome back. So I have my ingredients that I'm going to need to make minestra. Now, I'm making this soup for myself, so I'm not making a huge vat of it. So what I've done is I basically cut things in half. If you want to make the full version, the family size, big pot of it, then just basically double up. For example, I'm using half a head of cauliflower. So you get my point there. Now, minestra does freeze really well, so you can make a big batch of this, portion it out, freeze it, and reheat it at a later date. But for me tonight, I just want to make a nice fresh pot for myself. Now, minestra is a vegetable soup, mainly, so I have vegetables. I have here 3 stalks of fresh, beautiful celery. Now, in Malta, the celery is quite thin, and it's a little bit darker in color, and it has a real robust celery taste to it. You can find it in North America, and it's actually called Chinese celery, believe it or not. I have here 2 Ontario grown beautiful carrots. I have 2 cooking onions and my half a head of cauliflower. Now, as far as substitutes go, in Malta, this soup would be made with something called arabali, which is vegetable marrow. They are available here, but the store was just out of them. I saw them last week. They were this big. I didn't want to get them because I was going to stuff them. They're too small. Had I known I'm making minestra, they would have been perfect for that. So I've used zucchini. That's fine. You can go ahead and use zucchini. Vegetable marrow does come long. It comes thick. It comes round. You can stuff them. You can put them in soups, and they're kind of a light green and variegated kind of white streaky color. But if you can't find vegetable marrow where you are, go ahead and use zucchini. It's fine. My other substitute, believe it or not, was turnip. The store was just out of turnip, which is weird. So I've gone ahead and got, it's kind of ugly. Yakara. This is a rutabaga. Now, it has a waxy kind of coating. I did take some off already for you to see. So this will be peeled and chopped and put in the soup. Now, to be honest with you, I actually think rutabaga has a nicer flavor than turnip, so who knows, maybe it was a win-win for me. The recipe will also call for 2 types of pumpkin, a white and an orange. Now, it's almost springtime here in Ontario, Canada, so getting a white pumpkin, probably not. But I did manage to find this little guy. And I'm going to use the whole thing because there's not much here. So he'll be peeled and chopped up as well. Any kind of pumpkin will do. You can get those big pieces that they cut of the pumpkin with the green skin, the big, huge pumpkins. That's perfectly fine too. You can go ahead and use that as well. I also have tomato paste, which in Malta is called conserva. Now the tomato paste will be fried up with the onions and some garlic in what they call a tortilla. That's how they start off a lot of the soups, and that process is called tortilla with the tomato paste or conserva and your onion. Now let's talk about other things you can put in the soup. The recipes do call for cabbage as well. I love cabbage, but I just don't want to put it in this soup. Again, it's your kitchen, it's up to you. As long as you have the basics down, then, I mean, like the cauliflower, the pumpkin, you know, these things here are kind of the essentials. Potatoes is another thing you can add in here. But then again, you may want to omit that if you're going to be using something like barley. What I have here is a soup mix, and it has split peas, lentils, yellow split peas. It has little beans in here as well. And this is really going to act as a thickening agent. Now, my partner has told me in Malta a lot of people will use a pre-packaged soup mix, like from Knorr or something like that, of a green pea soup mix. And basically it just thickens the soup. If you don't have those kind of packaged pea soups, you can use this, or you can just use split peas and barley, or just the split peas. It's up to you. Also, what's usually added in here is some kind of small pasta, like maybe those little tiny tube pastas. Now, I'm not putting pasta and potato in here because I do have all that barley, and it's going to thicken up on its own with that. Plus, I want to keep this a little bit carb light. Now, another substitute that I have, well, not really, is butter beans. Now, the recipe does call for butter beans, but it does call for the dried version. Unfortunately, I just couldn't find dried butter beans, so I had to use, this is just 2 small 250 gram cans of butter beans, which I'm going to add near the end of cooking so they don't turn to complete mush. Not completely at the end, but close to the end. They're pretty good. They'll stand up, but they won't probably stand up for the entire cooking process, so maybe halfway through or near the end. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to chop up all my vegetables, and I'm going to get my tortilla started, which is the chopped onion with just a little bit of olive oil and the conserva. As far as the spices go, I have here some minced garlic, which I've cheated, and I bought the jarred version. So sue me. No, I just didn't feel like chopping garlic, and that's, you know, again, your option. And you can omit it altogether. I have some sea salt, which is from Malta, and I have a chicken bouillon cube. You can use vegetable bouillon cube, and I have some black pepper and a little bit of curry. Now, this again is optional. Don't go crazy with the curry. Maybe a teaspoon to a tablespoon to taste, just to have that hint of flavor in there. So now you have all the ingredients that you're going to need to make your minestra. I'm going to go and start chopping everything up, dicing everything up, and I'm going to start, and I will get back here and show you how it looks. Stick with me. Hey everyone, I'm back. My veggies are all chopped up, and before I start my tortilla, which is the conserva, tomato paste, and onion, I just wanted to come back and tell you about another substitute or something that you can add. Now, you can add meat to this as well if you want, and the Maltese will add pork or chicken, and it won't be chopped up. It'll be like in one big piece per portion. So if you're going to have 4 portions, 5 portions, there'll be 4 or 5 pieces of meat in there, obviously. My nana, in her opinion, minestra isn't minestra unless it has mostly the yellow split peas, which is called vavetta. And that's what's endearing about this recipe. I mean, the basics are there, but what's endearing to me is that from household to household, handed down, you know, these are the recipes that people have been using throughout the years. And if you're in doubt, or if you're wondering, oh my gosh, she's giving me so many options, I don't know what to do, think about what you like. Use the basics, but you can go online. I know there's some Facebook pages at I Love Malta Food, I think is one, something along those lines. But you can research minestra and make it your own. So I'm basically going on a little bit of a hodgepodge, something like my mom would do, a little bit of what my partner would do, and a little bit what my nana would do. So I'll be back and we'll show you how this all comes together. Stay with me. Hey everyone, as you can see, I have my tortilla started, which is the conserva and onions, tomato paste and onions, and my garlic. So I've fried this up together just to get rid of some of the acidity in the tomato paste. And to this, I'm going to add my root vegetables and hard vegetables. So here I have my pumpkin, my rutabaga, and my carrots. And if you haven't had rutabaga, honestly, the smell and everything is like a turnip. You won't be disappointed. Actually, I think it stands up a little bit better than a turnip. So into my pot, my Dutch oven. I know it looks full, but it's going to reduce down. They're going to melt. So this is going to go back onto the stovetop, and we'll get all these cooked down a bit, and then I'll show you the next step. Hey guys, okay, so my rutabaga and my pumpkin are sauteed in here. Did go down a little bit, as you can see. And at this point in the game, I'm going to go ahead and add my legumes, which is the barley, the split pea, the yellow split pea, which is called vavetta. There's some beans in here, and I'm not going to use this whole thing. I just showed you this for display purposes. There's about a cup and a half in here. And you can see there's beans in here as well. I'm probably going to use maybe half of that for now. About half of that. Just because this does swell, and it will, believe me, really, really thicken this soup up. So that being added, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some hot boiling water from my kettle, just because I think it speeds up the process. You don't need to. Now, don't go crazy with the water, just to cover. That's it. You're gonna add more a little bit later because you're gonna put some more vegetables in here. Don't forget, we still have our cauliflower, our celery, our arabali or zucchini if you're using it. So this is just to get this going, and at this point I will also stick in my cube, which will break down. I'm going to put in just a little bit of sea salt to taste. Again, it's easier to add salt than to take it away, so start easy. I'm going to put my curry powder and a bit of the pepper. Okay, that's it. Again, with pepper, you might want to go easy because, you know, you can always add that in according to taste. When this is done, actually, what I like to do is sprinkle some Parmesan cheese on top. Oh, yeah. So this is going to go back onto the hob, and I will be back shortly to give you the next update. What I'm going to do now is I'm probably going to add in the semi-hard vegetables, which is the cauliflower, our celery, and then the zucchini, because we don't want things to turn to mush. It's all in layers. Alright, be right back. Hey guys, okay, so this came to really quickly to a boil because of the hot water already. So you can see it starting to thicken up already. And the broth is starting to cook everything. So at this point, my semi-hard vegetables will go in, which is my cauliflower and my celery. Then I'm going to cover this with some more water. Then the zucchini will go in, and then we're going to let this simmer. So I'll be right back and show you how it comes together right after that. Alright, who wants to buy me a new pot? This happens to me a lot when I make soup in the Dutch oven because it's just not big enough to make a proper soup. So I did have to transfer it to a bigger pot. But as you can see, our minestra is really coming underway. Mind the steam. But this is now going to go on a simmer. All of the legumes and the barley is starting to swell, and the beans and everything like that was in that soup mix, and the split peas. I did add my the zucchini, or you would be adding arabali, which is the vegetable marrow at this point in time. But as you can see, there's like the yellow split peas as well, and the barley. So back on the hob. Now it's time to simmer this. The vegetables are getting soft, and I added the zucchini a little bit later because I just don't want them to turn to complete mush. But it's starting to take form, and it smells really, really, really good. It smells like Nana making her minestra. So, guys, you really have to try this. It's so good and homey, and I can't wait till it's done. As they say in Maltese, Tayeb. Good. Hey everyone, welcome back. The minestra is done. I did add the butter beans, and the last addition was some frozen peas, sweet peas. It's thick, and it's really, oh my god, I wish you can smell this place. And I tasted it, and oh my god, it's really, really, really good. So we have everything in our minestra, our vegetables, our legumes, our peas, our fresh peas, our celery, the beans. All that's left to do is to maybe add some Parmesan cheese and dig in. I hope you try minestra. It's homey, it's really good, it's so hearty, and it's just what the doctor asked for. So, when in Malta, eat your minestra. Thanks guys for watching.
Sayın seyirbo Sikolim amor Izdalilet madin saat Din habokim pardeye Indik malilet narat